Welcome back. Today in our Sunday Spotlight, a middle school student from East Lyme has quite the way with words. Abbie Aiello put a bunch of those words together in a book and won an international prize. Her debut book is called When I Turned on the Faucet. It took first place in Book Creators Be an Author, Tell Your Story competition. We are super excited to have Abbie here in Studio A with us, and you've got the book.
I do.
This book became a printed book, and you've got the actual thing. We just showed a picture of the cover. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I told you before we started, I am an East Lyme Middle School graduate a long time ago.
That's pretty cool.
And I saw that you had done this and won this big award. I said, I have to have her on the show. So tell me about this. How did you hear about this contest?
So I'm in the East Lyme Middle School Writing Club. And when I first joined, on the whiteboard, I saw about this competition that says, like, obviously, build your own story contest. And I told my teacher, Miss Mazzella, the writing club instructor, that I had a book that I was working on that just needed some final touches. When I finished the book, she had submitted it for me. And what not expected, I won first place.
And because you won first place, that's why they actually printed the book, which is super cool.
Yeah.
So tell me, now we can't, no spoilers, because we want people to go. They can go on bookcreator.com and read your book. That's what I did earlier today. So let's not give all the spoilers, but the basic idea is there's a young girl who's home alone.
Yep.
And she doesn't like what mom left her in the fridge. Chop suey, I believe it was.
Yep.
Do you even know what chop suey is?
It's actually an Italian dish that my dad loves, and the whole family loves it.
Perfect. All right, so they left chop suey.
Yep.
She went in to wash her hands prior to the chop suey and turned on the faucet, and what came out?
Gummy bears.
Instead of water, gummy bears pour out of the faucet.
Yep.
How did you think of this idea?
Well, it's actually a funny story. I was craving gummy bears after the pizza party that I had with my friends. And when I was still working on the book before I even joined writing club, I was craving gummy bears, like I said. And that gave me, I needed a slight plot twist in my story, and that gave me the perfect idea.
Well, listen, the judge who judged this, Drew Daywalt, he's the author of The Day the Crayons Quit, a big book. I mean, I know it. I read it to my son when he was little. And he called your book Laugh Out Loud Funny. He did. How did it feel to hear that from a published big-time author?
I was really excited. Actually, in the newspaper that I was earlier in, it said that my LA teacher, who helped me inspire this book, she was the one who made up this Writing Wednesday prompt. So every Wednesday we do this Writing Wednesday where we can type our own story, article, poem. That's what this came out to be.
That's awesome. And that was an article in New London Day, right?
Yes, it was.
Which is, you know, got to give them credit. That's where I saw about you and said, I want to have you on the show. So what is it about writing? What is it that you like about writing?
It just gives me something to do when I'm, one, bored. It also gives me a lot of inspiration, and I just take real life events on what I do at home or at school or whatever I do, and I just put them and just mash them all into this big little paragraph, and then I just started expanding on it.
Well, and one of the things that the judge commented on was that, you know, your grasp for characters and character development, and it's remarkable what you've done there. So is writing easy? That's it? You're just going to keep winning book competitions for the rest of your life?
Definitely
this is your thing?
Not. I didn't even expect any of this to happen, believe it or not.
So what's next? Or should we look for you at Barnes & Noble on the shelf?
I am actually making a second book with my best friend Ada Avsar. We're trying. After we finish that one, we're pretty close to being in the middle of it. We're going to try and get that one published too.
Now again, no spoilers, but can you give us a hint what that one's about?
Gummy bears, alien invasion.
Whoa. Adding an alien invasion to the gummy bears. That's a big step. What about if some kids are watching this? You know, people do this. Some kids are into sports, some like to draw. If someone out there likes to write, do you have any advice for them?
Definitely. If you're stuck on one paragraph, focus on what's happening in the real world and then expand on that and turn it into something creative. That's what I did.
In your case, you had a hankering for gummy bears, and next thing you know, you won a big book award.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do people, like, do your classmates, do your friends, are they amazed that you got a book published? What are they saying about it?
They're like, that is insane.
You're like a local celebrity there at East Lyme Middle School. It's pretty good.
Kind of. Thank you.
That's pretty good. So the next book is the one you're working on with your friend, and then,
Yes.
I mean, do you hope to make a career of this someday? I mean, this is, I guess, the kid question. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Either a writer or maybe a language arts teacher.
All right, so maybe you could write more books, or maybe you could teach other kids how to write books, which is also super important, because look at the teaching that you got there at East Lyme Middle School led to this big award and this great book.
Definitely.
I read it. It was great. Bookcreator.com. People can go on there and go to this contest and read it. You can click right through the slides online. And you, of course, have the actual printed copy, which is super cool. So I encourage people to go check it out. That's what it looks like when I turned on the faucet. The story of the gummy bears by Abigail Aiello. And the next one is going to have gummy bears and an alien invasion. We'll look forward to that. Maybe we'll have you back if you win another big award. Abigail, thank you so much for being with us on CT25. And when you publish your next book, come back and see us again.
All right, I'll try.
All right. And that is CT25 for this week. CBS Sunday Morning is coming up next. Have a great rest of your weekend. We will, of course, meet you back here in Studio A next Sunday morning.